If you need to do a lot of bulk tasks on a device, then maybe Windows PowerShell is your way forward. Windows PowerShell does allow me to do bulk tasks. It allows me to run scripts. What we can do with Windows 10 is we have the ability to do remote PowerShell. Now the advantage of remote PowerShell is that maybe you're home based now. And if you are home based and you need to do support on devices, maybe you have to do it remotely. So one of the things we need to do is we need to enable the device to start with to allow remote PowerShell. So what I'm going to do at this point here is I've already launched up PowerShell. I've already launched it up in admin mode. And now what we're going to do on this device is we're just going to run a command which is winrm quick config. So we're just going to run through this, and this will allow this device to be remoted onto. So at this point here, it's just saying that WinRM is not set up to allow remote access to this machine. Do I want to enable any firewall exceptions? And the answer is yes, I do. Then what it's going to do, it's just going to go through, and as we can see, it's now been updated. The exception's been enabled, so I now have this device configured for Windows Remoting. So now let's move over to the device that we're going to remote from. So what we have at this point here, now I'm now on lon-cl2. I'm just going to right click on the start button. I'm just going to come to Windows PowerShell admin. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to change the font just to make it a bit easier to read. And now we have this up and running. We'll just clear the screen off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a commandlet to allow me to get information relating to the system log file. So the first commandlet, so I'm invoking -command. I'm then specifying -computer name lon-cl1, the one we've just set up to be remote PowerShell onto. I'm then going to run a -script block, and then I'm going to open up my braces. I'm going to do a get -event log space -log system, and then close the braces. So what we do at this point here, we'll just hit the enter key. And what we should see that it then shows me everything in the system log. Quite useful. So another thing we can do is we can create variables. So rather than have to keep typing in lon-cl1 and having to use that as a session, one of the things I can do is I can create a variable by using the $command. So what I'm doing at this point here is I'm doing a $s equals, and what I'm doing is I'm doing a new -ps workflow session, and I'm specifying -computer name lon-cl1. So I can now use this $s as a variable within any commands that I issue from this machine, and that will automatically run those commands against lon-cl1. So we'll just set that up. Once that's in there, the next thing we're going to do at this point here is we're just going to do an enter -ps session. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do that against $s. Now what that now does, as you can see, that now takes me to lon-cl1. So any command that I now issue, so for example get -command, that will now run against lon-cl1. So you can see all the commands that we have in place. So if I just exit out, that takes me now back to I'm now sat on lon-cl2. So what I want to do at this point here is I actually want to now run a command against the device lon-cl1. So what I've done at this point here is I've now typed in invoke -command -session $s means run that against lon-cl1 -script block. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a $c equals get -command. So every time we issue a $c, that means get command. So it hasn't actually done anything yet. All I'm doing at this point here is I'm just invoking the command. The next thing I want to do is I actually want to run that. So I want to run something against those two variables. So with this command, invoke -command -session. So we're saying invoke this command against lon-cl1 and then -script block. And then what we're doing is we're doing a $c, which is the get -command variable. .count is just going to tell me how many commands I've got. So we'll just run that. And as you can see, we've got 43. Now we may want to run commands against multiple machines. So what we can do at this point here is we can actually specify multiple machines as part of the PowerShell commandlet. So now let's just run this command against both machines. So I'm going to do an invoke hyphen command hyphen computer name loncl1 and loncl2, and then we're going to do a script block get hyphen culture. So it's going to give me some computer IDs relating to the two devices. Let's just run that. So what we should find is we can see information relating to those two devices. So the next thing I want to do is I want to start running commandlets against both devices. So what we'll do is we'll modify the $S variable to include both devices lon-cl1 and lon-cl2. All I'm going to do at this point here is I'm going to do a $S space equals new hyphen PS workflow session, but now I'm going to do for hyphen computer name lon-cl1 comma and lon-cl2. Now we have that in place, any commands we now run with that $S variable will now run against both devices. So if we just go up against all the commands I've already ran. So one of the ones that we have is we have the invoke hyphen command and then hyphen session. So against one of the PCs, so let's just find that one. So this one at this point here, so we're just going to run this commandlet. So at this point here, again, it isn't really returning anything back, but what we want is we want the other one to just give us the number of the count of commands. So we'll find that one there. Hit return. As you can see now, it returns back 43 and 43. So that's telling me about the PowerShell commands on both devices. So now what we'll do is just move over to one of the server devices just to prove it's not just between two Windows 10 devices that we can actually send these PowerShell remote commands, but we can also do it as well from, really, I suppose, any device that has PowerShell installed. So now on our direct domain controller, so what we're going to do at this point here is we're just going to launch up our administrator Windows PowerShell. So here we are. As you can see, we've accessed Windows PowerShell at this point here. What we can also do as well is we can also use Windows PowerShell Ise. So and this is another way of accessing Windows PowerShell. So if I just come down to my Windows PowerShell Ise and we'll just run that up there. This then takes me into Windows PowerShell Ise, or the integrated scripting environment. And now in Windows PowerShell Ise, I can do a file, and I can now do a new remote PowerShell tab. We're going to connect through to lon-cl1 and connect. So as you can see, we've now connected through to lon-cl1. So what we'll do at this point here is let's get some information relating to IP settings. So we'll do a get hyphen net IP, and then what we're looking for here is IP configuration. So we'll have that one in there. Then we'll hit the enter key, and what I'll do is I'll go away and get me the net IP configuration relating to lon-cl1. So as we can see the IP address. What we can also see as well is default gateway, and we can also see the DNS server. So what we can also do, because this is remote PowerShell, we can also do a restart hyphen. What we'll do at this point here, we'll go for computer, and then we'll do a hyphen force. And what that'll do is that will then restart lon-cl1. So just to prove it is restarting it, let's move over to lon-cl1. And as we can see, it's restarting, and that's the end of this demonstration of using remote PowerShell. Thank you.